Hello everybody and welcome back to the Leeds FBS Student Life YouTube channel. If you don't know me, then I'm Grace. I'm a second year BSc microbiology student and one of your student engagement interns. So today's video is going to be on how I make notes at university. Spoiler alert, I don't. So over the course of university, I've tried out lots of different note-taking or information recording techniques, and I've worked out which ones are inefficient or don't work so well. Now obviously this is all personal preference, though I do think that the techniques that I use can be beneficial for lots of different students, so this is why I thought I'd give an insight into how I record lecture information and further reading as well. So before the lecture, what I'll do is create a folder for that lecture. So for example, within my medical virology folder, which is one of my modules, I'll for example create lecture 9 HPV1, and that will be a folder in itself. And then what I'll do is I'll download the PowerPoint from Minerva, for those of you who don't know, which is our sort of university portal where we have all our modules and student information. And so yeah, I'll download the PowerPoint and save it into that folder. Usually I'll save the PowerPoint with the same name as that folder. So again, lecture 9 HPV1. And then any other sort of PDFs that the lecturer recommends for wider reading, I'll save into that folder as well, or if I find any useful papers, I'll save it into that folder too. So a top tip of mine is that if your lecturer uploads the slides in a PDF form, what you can do is you can use a PDF converter and it converts it to a PowerPoint. And the reason I find the PowerPoint format more useful is something that I'll talk about in just a second. So if you want me to do a video on how I sort of organise my online life, sort of university, YouTube work as well, then make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and then I'll be sure to record that video. So during the lecture, I will write out any extra information that the lecturer gives directly underneath the PowerPoint slide. So I don't create a Word document and write all the notes and copy it from the PowerPoint, or like I've tried different techniques like that and it's just a waste of time. There's no point just copying the information from the PowerPoint slides. So essentially I've got the information from the slides and then any extra information that the lecturer adds I would just write down below underneath, and then that makes it much easier to sort of engage with the lecture because you're not constantly trying to write everything down, you're just picking out the key extra things that the lecturer says. So this is essentially the only note-taking part, so it's pretty minor to be fair. The good thing as well is if I miss a lecture, I'm only human, I'm a university student. Lots of people will say, oh, but they're online, that's so easy. I suppose sometimes I'll have job interviews, so they'll clash and I'll miss lectures, or if we're sort of around a time when there's lots of assessments and mid-semester exams and coursework's going on and I've got to spend extra time doing that, then unfortunately I may miss a lecture or two. I find that at the beginning of the semesters I start off really well going to all the lectures, engaging with them, and then we get to the mid part where there's lots of exams and courseworks, and that tends to be when I can drop off a couple of times, but that's okay. But the good thing is that for most people, with them being online now as well, I was lucky that even when they weren't online they were still recorded, but with most of them being online they are being recorded, which is really, really good. So what I do is I go back to the lectures and I can go through and write down the notes just as I would if it was a live lecture. And the good thing as well obviously is you can pause it, you can go back, you can get the lecturer to say it over and over again if you can't understand it properly. So that's something I tend to do as well. The good thing as well with the recording is you can sort of skip the parts at the start of the lecture when they're waiting for everyone to arrive, and skip through bits which you don't need talking about. For example, if it's just sort of bullet point facts on a slide that the lecturer is going through. And also you can speed it up as well, which is really, really good. So after the lecture, once I've got all the information on the slides and I've got the notes underneath, what I'll do is then make flashcards on Excel, and this is the main way I sort of consolidate all the information. So the information from the PowerPoint slides, the information from the notes sections underneath each slide, and then also any sort of wider reading I do, or just clarifications of things. For example, if there's a key word that was mentioned in the lecture and I don't know what it means, I can add it in as a flashcard. So Google what it means and then add it in, and then that way I've got all the information I need to do with that lecture. all in one place as well. So if you want to find out how I make these flashcards in more detail, make sure to comment down below, give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, and then I can make that video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.